Hello YouTube, Shin Tiger Curl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you the next part in my countdown to Pirate Warriors 3 Let's Play. Last time we looked at the most unlikely member of the 7 Warlords of the Sea, Buggy the Clown. And now we reach one of the more deadly members of this group, Crocodile. So, as before, all the information provided, it comes straight from One Piece Wiki. So if you want to learn more about One Piece, via the characters, places, items, and events, head over to One Piece Wiki to see the full articles. Or, do like I do, just read the manga and watch the anime. So, let's get started. Sir Crocodile is the former president of the mysterious criminal organization known as Baroque Works, and the main antagonist of the Alabasta saga. He is one of the longest-running primary adversaries of the series, as well as the first enemy to hand Luffy a complete and utter defeat. He was originally intended as a warlord. He was originally introduced as a warlord, but later was stripped of his title after attempting to take control of the desert kingdom of Alabasta. Thanks to Luffy, he managed to escape from Impel Down and went to Marineford to participate in the war. After that, he and his subordinate Daz Bones decided to head out for the New World. Personality. Crocodile is a very self-assured, confident man who is very confident in both himself and his abilities. His great power is shown when he was able to beat Luffy twice, nearly killing him both times, and he enjoys toying with his opponents, often smiling smugly when faced with an opponent he knows is weaker than himself. However, due to his confidence, he can seriously underestimate a person's abilities, such as Luffy's willpower, which led to his defeat. His willingness to kill shows his pitiless nature, and he will not think twice about sentencing another person to death. He is also very quick to anger if someone insults him in any way. This is seen when Sanji insults him over Den Den Mushi. Crocodile comments that anyone who has ever insulted him has been killed by him. This is also later shown in his first fight with Luffy, where Luffy called him stupid. He then bites his cigar in half and threatens to kill Nico Robin for laughing at the comment. However, he has a habit of insulting others and frequently using the term worthless to refer to the desperate situations of his enemies. Although he is referred to on many occasions, Although he has referred to many of his opponent's struggles as worthless in the past, he does not refer to his opponent's struggles. He does not always refer to his opponent's struggles since he first fought Luffy. He will usually insult others and genuinely say that they are not in his league. Whether he's fighting a rookie or fighting a fellow warlord, namely Don Quixote do Flamingo, who had a former bounty of almost 300 million, higher than his own. If Crocodile is extremely angry or annoyed with his victim, he will rarely kill them outright. He often leaves them to suffer until they slowly die. This proves to be a bad habit of his that led to his defeat in the first place. In his first and second fight with Luffy, instead of killing him straight away, he leaves Luffy to suffer. This allows him to come back and finally defeat Crocodile. This habit and sheer luck itself are the reasons why Luffy lived through any of his fights with Crocodile. This also led Galdino, aka Mr. 3, surviving the attempt made by Crocodile to feed him to the Bananawanis. Crocodile shows no concern for his subordinates. He is fully willing to sacrifice them in order to achieve his ambitions, such as Operation Utopia, where the entirety of Baroque Works would have been killed by the resulting cannon blast, or if they insult or fail him, such as Mr. 3 or Nico Robin did. He felt no true attachments to these people and only views them as pawns. However, the few that are strong enough to earn his respect, the prime example being Mr. 1, whom Crocodile went out of his way to rescue from his cell. He also lacks almost any code of honor and does not see the point in offering those who are about to die a chance of dying honorably. One of the few signs of honor he displayed at all in his third battle with Luffy. He states that Luffy deserves an honorable death from his venomous hook. However, due to the situation at the time of battle, this could be considered one of the more acts of cruelty than honor. Although it is possible that due to the fact that he almost never fights with his poison hook, it is a tribute to Luffy's tenacity, as he stated himself. Another example of his odd sense of honor is seen when Whitebeard was injured by Squardo. Crocodile refused to fight him in his weakened state. Later, he even saves Ace's life. He also saves Mr. One and Luffy from Mihawk. Nevertheless, he says that he just didn't want the Marines to get their way. Crocodile is shown to be extremely cynical and patronizing. He also displays a complete disregard for the romanticized life of pirates, saying that all the values that the status Pirate King once symbolized are worthless to him. He places more importance in military power. Crocodile believes that only ignorant fools declare those grandiose dreams. Several times he refers to trust and faith in others as idiotic. He has stated that he has done away with countless similar people like that, and goes so far as to deride those who fight for others, making their defeats all the more harsh. By his own admission, he confesses that he was not always rational. He may very well have been a happy, carefree person once. Crocodile and Luffy even shared the same dream. Despite this, his time on the Grand Line has corrupted and jaded him, causing him to turn to a cruel person that he is now. Conjointly, his time in the Grand Line has caused him to repudiate his dream. Apparently, after losing to Luffy and being stripped of his title as a member of the Seven Warlords, Crocodile has lost all interest in the outside world. This has caused him to not escape with the rest of his subordinates during the breakout, and eventually to his transfer to Impel Down. His only motivation for leaving Impel Down was a chance to eradicate Whitebeard. In addition, he seems to have mellowed out a small amount since his defeat. He does seem to be more willing to assist others, as when he offers his help to Luffy when escaping from Impel Down. He even accepted help from others. All in all, it was because of the help from others that benefited him. Before his incarceration in Impel Down, he did not care if his allies were going to get killed or not. He might have even killed them himself. Though in Impel Down, he does go back to help his allies when they were being decimated by the jailer beasts. He has a complete lack of fear and doubt. He is often very composed, even when facing fearsome opponents like Whitebeard, Dracul, Mihawk, and Akainu. He rarely loses his temper. One of these occasions would end up costing him, leading to his final defeat in Alabaster. Upon his capture, he disregarded the notion of escaping simply because he didn't feel like it. Summarily, he smiled at the news that he was being sent to Impel Down and was apathetic during his imprisonment. Crocodile is, in fact, one of the very few prisoners to seem nearly completely unaffected by the tortures and conditions of Impel Down. He is also one of the only one to appear to actually enjoy himself. He is initially seen smiling and mocking his fellow prisoners. Crocodile says that he was in Impel Down because he chooses to stay. He ultimately decided to leave only because there's a chance to kill Whitebeard. Crocodile appears to act largely on whims and selfish desires. He simply goes with the flow. In spite of this, recent revelations have revealed that he may not have always been as heartless as he lets on. During the war, he goes beyond his personal agenda several times to save his allies' lives. He not only prevents Ace's execution, but saves both Mr. One and Luffy from being killed by Mihawk, and prevented Akainu from cornering Luffy and Jinbei as they desperately tried to escape from the Admiral's onslaught. He claims that the motivations of his recent actions is that the Marines can't keep doing what they wanted. He recently shown himself to be very adventurous and fearless, preparing to journey to the New World following the war. Crocodile's laughter style starts with "k", as in "k ha 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 ha," and also tends to laugh at a much slower pace, as in "k ha 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 ha." Powers and abilities. Crocodile is extremely intelligent and cunning, one of the smartest individuals introduced in the story so far, which is apparent from his ability to mastermind Baroque works while keeping the world government completely in the dark about what he was doing and making himself the hero in the eyes of the people of Alabaster. He is also skilled at making flawless plans and noticing things that most people would not. He can deduce a correct collision from He can deduce a correct conclusion from nearly no information at all, seeing the white wrappings on Luffy's arm and almost instantly figuring out it was a safeguard against Mr. Two's infiltration. He managed to splinter relationships between the countryside villages and Alubarna's inhabitants by secretly importing rain-producing dust into the capital during a period of major regional drought, and then intentionally having it accidentally discovered en route, inciting the threat of civil war to enhance his plans. The entire Alabaster saga is a testament to Crocodile's strategic and manipulative skills. He managed to successfully maintain control over all operations within Baroque Works over the years, with only Nico Robin, then his personal assistant and partner, knowing his true identity. All the other agents of his organization knew him only as Mr. Zero, despite his high-profile nature as a warlord. Simultaneously, he strove to attain a high level of respect and prestige among the citizens of Alabaster's capital, Alubarna, as their savior, by brutally dispatching any would-be invaders or pirates, so that his behind-the-scenes business could run more smoothly. He seems to have a better understanding of devil fruits than most people, as evidenced by his mastery over his own Logia powers. It has been shown that when he revealed that the jailer beasts were actually awakened Zoan fruit users, while other people were unaware that they were even devil fruit users to begin with. He also is the only known warlord to know about the Void Sentry and ancient weapons, forbidden knowledge that most others are not even aware of, even the others amongst the other warlords. To this end, he knows the true value and reason for Robin's high bounty. He defeated Luffy no less than 2 times before he was eventually defeated. In fact, if it were not for the matter of luck and several helpers, Luffy would have been killed in all 3 battles, either from the stab in his body in the first fight, dehydration in the second fight, and poisoning in the third fight. Moreover, if Luffy's blood had not served as a way to nullify Crocodile's Logia-type powers, and if Robin had not supplied Luffy with the antidote for his hook poison, the third battle would have eventually favored Crocodile as well. As a former warlord, Crocodile is a very powerful individual. He was the warlord with the second lowest bounty at the time, 81 million berries. Hancock having the lowest, although his bounty represented his threat level at the time he met Luffy. It would have more than doubled and been broken the 160 mark. Indeed, when Crocodile was stripped of his status as a warlord and transferred to Impel Down, he was placed in level 6, where the world's absolutely worst criminals are kept. Physical abilities. Despite his powers being of a Logia type, which allows him to turn into sand to avoid injuries, he has a great amount of stamina and endurance. He was able to take a serious beating from Luffy in their third battle while delivering his own attacks, as well as take a direct strike from the diamond form of Jozu with only slight damage. In addition, Crocodile possesses great physical strength, as demonstrated when he was carried off by himself the dead bodies of an entire pirate crew, namely Poo-Poos. He dehydrated with his devil fruit powers. While Luffy was unable to retaliate against Mihawk and was forced to only avoid his attacks, Crocodile intercepted and stopped Mihawk's 2-handed slash with just his hook. This seemingly without being worried at all for facing an opponent as strong as Mihawk, and even talking down to him, which may be due to the fact that swords are virtually useless against Logia users like him. He seems to be sorry. He seems to be able to clash equally with Doflamingo, with such a clash forcing nearby Marines to back off or knock them off their feet, and was uninjured after his confrontation with both warlords, despite the fact that both can use Haki. Warlord is even able to battle Admiral Akainu and appear completely unharmed afterwards, despite the latter's ability to use Haki. He is also one of the few people to be able to take the baptizing in the boiling water of Impel Down without flinching, which is considered an impressive feat. Crocodile could effortlessly withstand the temperatures of level 3, where the heat is sufficient enough to roast a bird alive, level 4, which is several times hotter than level 3, and level 5, a room operating with sub-zero temperatures. Devil Fruit. Crocodile ate the Logia fruit Suna Suna no Mi, or sand fruit, allowing him to become, generate, and manipulate sand. He has mastered his ability to the point of perfection, where he can turn to stand reflexively if attacked. This ability is proven true when Doflamingo cuts off his head when he was distracted. While in a desert area, his powers make him nearly invincible. Crocodile has the ability to create sandstorms, make multiple bladed weapons out of sand, and even create quicksand. He can also suck the moisture out of any object, living or non-living, by placing his right hand on them. This ability allows him to utterly destroy buildings and kill all organic life around him via dehydration. Weapons. The hook. In addition to being one of the few characters to be shown to have complete mastery of their devil fruit, Crocodile is also a formidable hand-to-hand combatant. He fought only using his hook, which for most of his third match with Luffy, and only resorted to using his devil fruit powers near the end when things weren't going in his favor. Not to mention his hook had been broken by Luffy. His hook is made mostly out of a gold alloy, which makes it resistant to his corrosion. That is extremely tough and resistant, as shown when it took only visible damage from the Kikoyoru when Crocodile defended Luffy from one of Mihawk's attacks. The gold part of the hook, which is hollow and can be taken off to expose a poisonous hook hidden underneath it. This part of the hook also has a powerful scorpion venom, which is strong enough to melt rock and kill anyone with the effect of a single slash. In the unlikely event that his hook becomes damaged, there is a knife hidden underneath that can be used in its place. The hook can also serve as several times as an improvised mace-like weapon of sorts, evident from Crocodile merely slamming Luffy via the wall via using this hook. During his incarceration in both regular prison and Impel Down, Crocodile was permitted to keep his hook, despite it being a potential weapon, leading credence to the assumption that the hook is a prosthesis rather than just a bizarre gauntlet. Timer bomb. For the pinnacle of Operation Utopia, Crocodile prepared a specialized bomb. It was designed to detonate across a maximum radius of 5 kilometers, large enough to completely obliterate the capital city of Alabarna. In addition to the conventional explosive damage, being able to stagnate and prevent organic growth within the blast radius for long-term situations. It is also typically prepared around 30 minutes prior to actual firing, releasing from a bulky cannon. But in case of that method backfiring, Crocodile had a special timer installed on the bomb itself to detonate at the same original time as it was meant to be fired. And that's it for Crocodile's profile. 18 minutes, longest for the Warlord so far. Tune in next time as we look at the next member of the 7 Warlords of the Sea, the large and in charge tyrant Bartholomew Kuma. So if you like what you've heard, link, comment, subscribe below. Got any questions, comments, or just want to talk about One Piece? Then just leave them below. I'll get back to you. You want to support the channel? Just give a nice Suna handshake to that like button, or click on one of the advertisements around the video. It really just takes a second out of your day. Or if you want to donate directly, you know what to do. It's up there. Just drop something in there. So until next time, this has been Shin Tiger Curl, that dude in the straw hat, saying good day, and all of your attempts are worthless.